This is WVBN from Japan. After a request from the Dutch East Indies, the Japanese government not only agreed to provide them with necessary war materials, but proposed establishing a semi-permanent military base in the area to assist with patrol and defense, in exchange for favorable trade deals and access to Dutch ports. Rumors suggest that a kami may even be relocated to the local area. In a bold move, the IJN announced that the Special Naval Landing Forces would be reorganized into a fully fledged Marine Corps, known as the Imperial Japanese Marine Corps. All naval landing and marine base forces would be absorbed into this new unit, which would establish full training pipelines for enlisted personnel and officers alike, from what was previously simple supplementary training. The Navy saw fit to make this change after the heroic showings at Truk and Guam, recognizing the essential role that amphibious forces would play in future battles. This change was poorly received by the Army, who were content with the previous arrangement. They believed the Navy was attempting to usurp the Army's role as the sole land component of Japan's military, and that such operations were rightfully their domain. Nonetheless, the Army did little beyond raise complaints, but hinted that future Army operations would call upon the Navy to do their part for Japan. The mysterious kami called Ama had her request fulfilled by the Navy. No further details have been released. The latest round of naval armament talks saw fierce fighting between proponents of carrier warfare and those who believed Japan was seriously lacking in screening vessels. Many believed that increasing Japan's formidable destroyer forces many times over would secure the security of the nation, but Admiral Yamamoto himself intervened to ensure that 3 aircraft carriers would be budgeted in for this program: Unryu, Amagi, and Katsuragi. The Navy remained committed to planning future carriers, which would utilize armored flight decks similar to the unlaid Taiho. The remainder of the allotted budget would be used to create a small but powerful run of the new experimental vessel, as well as a large number of Kagero, Yugumo, and Akizuki destroyers. The next round of talks is slated to address escort vessels. The submarine I-71 continued her massively successful campaign against Morgana's shipping, sinking a whopping 128,000 tons of enemy warships. To the surprise of few, her latest return to port saw the kami herself proudly standing atop the vessel, magic hammer in hand. She corroborated American reports of a large enemy capital ship presence at Guam. Efforts to free and repair the heavy cruiser Tone continued with little success. Workers began construction of a more semi-permanent facilities to better assist their efforts in freeing the trapped kami, who was in a more comfortable state of meditation to study the secrets of teleportation. Mikasa's dry dock continued in earnest, with workers reporting a bevy of promising circumstances. As plans took shape for the construction of new turrets and guns, measurements appeared with impossible precision, and a gracefully written note suggested Mikasa be fitted with modern 12-inch guns. In Mikasa's wardroom, the cook always set a plate for the unseen kami herself, which always seemed to vanish when nobody else was around. Plates were left neatly stacked alongside a newly written haiku. These happenings only improved the morale of the workers. The Narvik convoy completed its final stretch this week, after the week began with the Spanish sending an envoy of officers aboard Fuso with some concerning information. Fuso's captain could only promise to relay this information back to Tokyo, and the Spanish were reportedly disappointed at the outcome. The convoy continued without incident, despite the fear of nearby Morgana concentrations. A lone signal was pinged underwater, suspected to be a German U-boat, but it never approached the convoy. The only circumstance of note was the sudden disappearance of the Italian cruiser Barry, but who was found awakened in Narvik upon arrival, having rescued a small patrol from the north. With their perilous journey behind them, the Japanese forces set up shop in the Norwegian city. This has been WVBN from Japan.